Alright, hello, my name is Arto, I'm from Helsinki, and I was following this Infowars Alex Jones trial, little bit like 3 hours, 4 hours maybe, and just that I was thinking that I know everything about it. I didn't know, and I didn't listen to every bit of the audios or the videos, and today I found out one positive thing that Alex Jones said on the trial when the prosecution was asking about how do you feel or how do you think this that there is pedophiles in the government. Where did you came up with this? Something like this was the question, and Alex Jones was answering like, the Epstein with the Clintons. You mean that? And then there was like silence. And yeah, so basically they have, in 2 occasions, the prosecution have, at least in my opinion, has revealed the true colors or true motives behind the Sandy Hook fake trials. And also the judge has proved herself to be absolutely show case. And so first of all, she denied any kind of talk about the trial, and then there was like a misunderstanding that how about her rules, and those rules was totally against Constitution and freedom of speech. And so how can a judge in a civil court give orders that are against the law? I don't know, but it happened. And so the understanding was that Alex Jones had and others had that there was a ruling that from the lawyers that from the judge to the lawyers' mouth that it is not allowed to talk about the witnesses on the trial, that nothing about what the witnesses has told or spoke or whatever, that those are protected. But now, after that happened and the court was continuing, the judge claimed that her ruling was meaning of everything. You cannot talk anything about what happened on the courtroom, what happened on the case or whatever. Nothing was allowed to speak about that. And so I don't know what Nazi Germany she grew up, maybe some kind of relatives there, I don't know. that is normal there. And so, and also the pricing of the case, over 4 million first, then 45 million plus. And in Texas there is a law, in that state there is a law that maximum fine, or if you have to pay for something for someone, for one person per case is $750,000, and that is the law in the state. And also, if there is no name mentioned, that should be not. There should be no legal case. There should be no legal case in that matter. If there is, because Alex Jones continually told the court that he have never spoke about the names of the victims' relatives or whatever. So there is no reason to be in the court in the first place. So I hope that the Supreme Court of Texas will rule out this whole case and said that this is totally illegal. And then there should be an investigation for this prosecution and this fake judge, for my opinion at least. And it so happened that FBI, or the Washington brand of the FBI, raided President Donald Trump home in Mar-a-Lago today or yesterday, was whatever. So this case, this raid of Donald Trump's home was so close to this Alex Jones case. So this is totally planned by the pedophiles in the government of United States. This is not about this is not about in any way or form about Sandy Hook victims, relatives or whatever. This is nothing about them. This is totally about this pedophile mafia have used this court, this prosecution, this whole case against Alex Jones, and he admitted that their goal was to silence Alex Jones. That was the real case in the courtroom by the prosecutor's own mouth. They admitted that this was their goal. This was what they was really after, was this silencing of Alex Jones, not to get justice for the victims' relatives or something like that. No. And one proof also that they claim that this is hurting the relatives of the victims. And did they demand millions of dollars from the state or the school or wherever the shooting happened? Did they demand from the police or the shooters' relatives this kind of money, this 45 million? Did they or did they not? If they didn't, that idea of $45 million is not coming from the shooting victims' relatives. It is coming from the pedophile mafia. And if they are allowing this kind of sums, this kind of money to the case, it means that these prosecution, these judges are more after the Alex Jones and the Infowars than they are really the case of Sandy Hook shooting. Yeah, that's the proof. And the Owens lawyer had the best argument at the court, for my opinion, that when the prosecution claimed that these words of him are hurting these people, are hurting the relative of the victim of the shooting case. The claim was that these words of him from him is hurting. This talking, any kind of talk about the shooting is hurting the victims. This was totally debunked by the Owens lawyer when he argued that, okay, so when we are now talking about this shooting in the court, does this also hurt the victims' relatives? That was the real argument for the case, that there is no real hurt from the Infowars, from the reporters, from the talking about this case. There is nothing, there is totally nothing that could hurt them if they are willing to talk about it this much. Yeah. So the prosecution argument was that doesn't they have a right to get justice for themselves? That was totally false argument. That was totally game over. He is a loser. This prosecutor is a loser. He doesn't know how to do his job, clearly. Yeah. And my biggest disappointment was that I felt that Alex Jones and Owens lawyer was a little bit like scary at this court. Okay, they have their life work at the line. I understand that, and many times when we see these independent medias at the court, they are really polite and try to have nothing. They try their best that there is no reason for the judge to judge them. But my argument is that when we see time after time, it happens again and again. When we see before the court is starting, the judge, she is acting this way, that you cannot talk about this. Do you know how to speak here? You have this and that. You have to act this and that way. Okay, I understand this basic behavior. That we are going through, that how you act here in court. But when they are overstepping that normal day-to-day court routine, giving instructions, then they are like they are really uppity, they are really proud, and they are trying their best to restrict your speech, to restrict your rights, then you know this is so much, this lady is so full of pride, this lady is so full of injustice and constitution. This whole case is totally against constitution, and at the same time the mainstream media is attacking you with this court case. So no, you know from the prosecutor, but you know better even from the judge. You know from the judge and you know from the mainstream media if the case is, you know, theatrical, if the case is settled before it even starts. So when you see these signs from the judge, from the mainstream media, there is no reason to censor yourself at the court. I would say that fuck you, or whatever you need to say, you know, whatever you need to say to the judge. That I think it's in that case it's more important not show any kind of fear or any kind of self-censorship. That's my opinion. Because when you know, no matter what you speak or how you speak it or how you present yourself, it doesn't matter, because this is so fucking corrupt woman, this judge, and this is so fucking corrupt, this prosecution, and this whole level of justice here in the civil court. It is so fucking corrupt, and you can see it from the judge, you can see it from the mainstream media, that what is coming. So I would say that when the fake judge argued that Alex Jones doesn't know the truth and what he believes is truth is not truth, when the judge, the fake fucking judge, argument that Alex Jones' truth is not the truth, real truth or whatever, I would have answered immediately, no matter what the rules are. I would answer the fucking judge that it doesn't matter how you feel what is my truth, because you are not interested about the truth. If you were listening to me and all other people here equally, and you are not doing that, so you are fucking fake judge and you can go fuck yourself. And this was the attitude that should be for these totally corrupt government people who only serve the pedophile elite in the Washington.